Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to the 49 Invincibles podcast. The night after the night before, that wasn't a good night, let's be honest. That wasn't a good night. That was a tough night for all of us. I have Zohum back with me again as usual. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me again. A nice time, I think, to do this podcast, man, because there's been a lot going on with Arsenal, obviously, with last night's result. So, yeah, man, let's get it cracking.
Especially if we lost. And first time, not first time on the channel, but first time on the show. Albert JTV, how are you?
Good, man. Pleasure to come back on, man. Nice to be in your presence, bro.
No problem, man. And those compliments are a bit too high. But yeah, we'll be covering yesterday's game. Just a slight review on yesterday's game, and obviously the draw that was made today. And Zoom likes the business part of Arsenal, so we'll talk a bit more about Dangote since he's been linked to Arsenal again this week. So let's start with yesterday's game. I'll start with you, Zoom. What was your prediction before the game?
I think I mentioned it last week when we did the Louise, that Benfica fan. And I think I went with a 3-1. So, but I expected a lot more dominance than certainly more than we showed yesterday. So, that was my prediction, 3-1.
Definitely didn't expect them to equalize, right? You expected maybe to be more comfortable, maybe 2-0, then they get one, then we clinch it at the end or something.
I certainly didn't even expect them to, essentially have 1 foot ahead of us. They essentially had 1 foot in the door of the round of 16. So I didn't think they would. I thought we were going to be a lot more comfortable, and even if they got a goal, it would have been a consolation goal. So, no.
Albert, how about you? You expecting a comfortable second leg?
No way. Not when it's come to Arsenal, man. Not at all. No, no. Listen. We've seen this team, man. Like it's not been an easy watch domestically and in Europe. So my prediction wise before the game, I said Arsenal would sneak it 2-1, but I expected to see a better Benfica display simply because they've got some decent players, but and obviously going from the first leg it was 1-1, but I actually thought as a spectacle the game was a lot better than the first leg, because I thought the first leg was terrible, to be honest with you, to watch. But Arsenal, like I said, I feel Arsenal started pretty steadily, sort of first 20-25 minutes. Like I thought Ceballos and Ødegaard were quite influential. Forward passing, progressive passing, finding the pockets of space. Not that either team really created anything in terms of a chance until obviously my Nigerian brother Saka done the business and not even just an assist, a world-class assist. That's not being biased because he's been doing it for latter stage of the last season, and this season he's been exceptional. When a wicked finish from Aubameyang. So they didn't create nothing, Glenn, to be honest. Benfica. Then obviously Arsenal self-inflicted and a fantastic free kick, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Aubameyang, so home. Very, very that is what we expected him to do last week, right? When he had that chance where he didn't shoot and he tried to cut back to his right.
The thing is with Aubameyang, man, like he has the finish of Aguero, but the skill of Giroud. It's really weird to see. He looks so clumsy sometimes, but then you put him through on goal the way we did with that world-class pass from Saka, and he doesn't even need a touch. He's so instinctive. And yeah, you just need to, such players, you just need to put them through on goal or present the chance, and at some point they guarantee a goal. So yeah, I'm not surprised. We've seen him chip the dink. It's actually more of a dink. We've seen him dink the keeper enough times over his Arsenal career and over his overall playing career. So yeah.
Albert, how happy are you when you got the first goal?
You know what? Because of the way the tie was, we would have needed to score two, really, because you wouldn't have trusted Arsenal to take that game being 2-1 ahead right through to the final whistle. You just can't. It's knockout football. All it takes is one mistake, and I don't know how we went into that. I don't know how we went into that second into half time at 1-1. Like I said, you can't stop a free kick like that. It's exceptional. I mean, Tobias was sloppy in terms of giving the free kick away, but it's kind of been Arsenal season like that, man. To be honest with you, self-inflicted.
Yeah, Zoom, good to get the first goal, but we kind of dropped off for the next 20 minutes. We didn't really attack anymore. Are you concerned about that?
No, not really. I'm more used to it. Aren't we all? I mean, sometimes the likes of Granit Xhaka, David Luiz, Dani Ceballos, and Hector Bellerin just slow things down, and they're too cautious with their passing, not taking enough risks. But at the same time, it's not like I'm putting all the blame on them, those four players. I'm also putting a bit of blame on our forward players, because to make a good pass, you also need good movement. I mean, just look at the Saka goal, the Aubameyang goal, right? So there wasn't enough of that from Bukayo Saka at some point, and maybe even Emil Smith Rowe. But I think that has more. It's 60% Xhaka and his boys, David Luiz and Dani Ceballos and them, and 40% not enough good movement. So it was just really frustrating, because they kind of just fell into those old bad habits. And I think it goes back to what I said about such players, is that they can put in 5 to 10 games, consistently good performances, 8 and above, but then they kind of just go back to default settings. But at the same time, I think maybe there was an element of caution, not just in terms of our passing, but also in terms of our mentality. Guys were maybe a little afraid to lose the ball in possession, afraid to have a pass, intercepted or something like that. So it was just overall such a bad performance from that point of view. So yeah, I just hope it doesn't continue. But I mean, you asked me if I'm concerned, and I think the answer would be no, because as soon as Partey came on, there was just a bit more ambition. There was a bit more pace on the pass. There was a bit more forward thinking, and just sometimes players, they see an option to pass it back, and they see at the same time an option to move forward, maybe around a player, might be slightly more risky, but they decide to go back and make two passes to make the pass that could have been made in one. So so hopefully I'm not too concerned about it.
Okay, so Albert, do you blame Tobias for giving away the free kick? Because the people have been very harsh for you, like it wasn't his fault. He was just trying to get the ball.
I think people can forgive the sort of the, I don't know if forgive's the right word, for the free kick goal, but not for the second one. And I think what the problem was in the first half, where we conceded the goal. I think we was lucky that there was only like 2 or 3 minutes left, because Arsenal were rocking, mate. They were just rattled. And it carried on into the second half, because the first 10 minutes was just cat and mouse. And then, I mean, the mistake for the goal, I don't know what he was doing. He left Leno really in no man's land, because if Leno takes out the striker, we're down to 10 men, and made it hard work for ourselves. But I think the key thing, I thought the game changer in the game was the Tierney goal, because we got that pretty quickly after they scored to go 2-1. That was massive. Because if we don't get that goal and the game carries on for another 15 minutes, I think we're having a different conversation today.
So we always concede right before halftime. I was just saying yesterday, Zuhum, like since back in the day, remember when the likes of Rooney and Nani would run us ragged in the 45th minute and they'd get a goal right before halftime at the Emirates. Then come the second half, they beat us 3-1 at the Emirates. The next game, same thing with Drogba, same thing against Aston Villa, same thing against Wolves. We always concede right before halftime, Neves penalty early on in the season. So I don't understand that. But coming to the second half, did you want any subs? Did you want any people to come in immediately?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see Nicola Pepe and Gabriel Martinelli, actually. I thought we needed more life. I thought maybe Emil Smith-Rowe looked a little leggy, a little heavy, not as zippy as we're used to him or have been used to him over the last, 15 odd games. Just a quick mention, Albert talked about the Kieran Tierney goal, and I think it had the kind of vibe that Bakary Sagna's goal versus Tottenham did when we won that game 5-2, made a comeback. It was that F-off kind of goal, like, have it. There it goes. Let's go again. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need those moments. And Kieran Tierney just seems to have these kind of moments, whether in scoring a goal or helping us score a goal, creating chances, or even in terms of his defensive duties. So it's just so important to have such players. They really do drag you. I mean, look at all the best teams around the world, the best teams that you've seen in recent times. Ramos, the most glorified of those goals would be the equalizer right at the 90th minute in the Champions League final. We have some way to get to the Champions League final. We have a bit of work to do, but it would be good to have Kieran Tierney in a Champions League final because he can produce those kind of moments, and he did again, and that was the difference. I mean, also a bit of credit maybe to Willian for his assist, and I think Arteta spoke about why he chose Willian over Martinelli or Pepe, and I think for Pepe I agree, because he does need space in behind to really try and make an impact. But Gabriel Martinelli has that poacher, like he thinks like a poacher. So I thought he would have been useful. And when they were in possession, it didn't look like we were doing enough to get them off the ball. And he does so much good work off it. You know what I mean? So it's good, but I think if Willian does actually come and contribute in those games where we have no space or a low block to contend with, then we have to give a bit of credit to Arteta. Man. Just going back to, the original part of the question was just a quick reminder.
Conceding right before halftime, and then what subs did you want at halftime?
Yeah, so Martinelli, I actually expected Martinelli, Pepe, and obviously as soon as I saw Dani Ceballos do what he did, I wanted him off immediately. I wanted Partey on as soon as that happened. Oh my God,
man! This is a guy who's been supporting Arteta and Arsenal the last 2 weeks very, very passionately, talking to Albert. I'm like, yes, you're going to finish in the top 6. Yes, you're going to find the Europa League, telling everyone else. I was like, when that second goal went in, I felt sick, man. I literally felt like, oh no, yet again, Olympiacos all over again. That is the dagger, like considering the second goal like that. Literally, those guys scored 3 goals against us and you gifted them all of them. So when that goal went in, I was like, I didn't even have hope. Like literally, just like I didn't even see when Willian came on because I wasn't even looking. So Albert conceding that goal, you definitely thought it was over, right?
Yeah, I mean that 25 minutes period or 27 minutes, however long it was. The journalists here, man, they're twitching at their keyboards. The Instagram and Twitter people were ready to come out in force, man. And even more so, like Thing mentions about the subs. I gotta be honest. At the time, obviously, I thought this guy Arteta trying to get himself sacked because you need two goals, and he brings on Willian. To me, it was baffling. I thought, nah, this guy's not doing himself a favor because we're at a period now with only 25 minutes to go in the game where we're going to be out. And then there's going to be recriminations and questions asked, and I'm not so sure. I mean, people talk about. I saw a lot of people debating yesterday. Willian come on, he changed the game. I wouldn't go that far. Like I said before, in the original question, the Tierney goal, I'm telling you, was the game changer because if the game stretches 10-15 minutes, we're out, we're gone, we're not scoring again. So that was the key thing for me. And the Martinelli situation. I don't get what's going on, man. Because it can't just be a case of you're nursing this guy back into football because, you know, I'm not being funny. Martinelli's probably sitting there on the bench thinking, if I can't come on as a sub and I'm a striker and we need to score 2 goals in 20 minutes, what am I doing here, man? I'm going to be on the phone to my agent, or I'll be knocking on the manager's door. I wouldn't knock on the manager's door. I will kick the manager's door open and ask why I'm not in the team or why can't he bring me on as a sub. It's baffling, man. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, to give Willian credit, he did okay when he come on. People said to me, Partey was going to come on anyways, because at the time I thought that's a bit of an odd substitution to make if you're chasing 2 goals. But yeah, apparently Partey was going to come on before anyway. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Wait, sorry.
Go on.
Which substitution did you have an issue with more? You also had an issue with the Thomas Partey substitution?
No, I at the time when I was watching, I was kind of thinking, we need 2 goals. Why is he bringing on? But I think people were saying to me that it looked like he was going to bring him on anyway before they got the goal. I think that's what they were saying. But yeah, the William one, I didn't understand, man. We need 2 goals. Yeah, to me, it was crazy at the time, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I think
for me,
go
ahead.
Sorry, I think with the Partey situation, it was more to do with just the energy and the security, because we knew we were going to have the ball, right? We're going to have the ball, so we know they're going to sit deep. And if you want anyone chasing back to win the ball back and help us recover and just give us that protection in front of the back 4, it would have been him. And at the same time, if you want anyone on the ball, you'd want Partey on the ball in midfield, not Xhaka or Dani Ceballos, because he's just so much more ambitious. You know, it's almost like he has that self-belief that I can make this pass. Actually, no, it's not that I can. I will make this pass. And it's the kind of pass that's going to make a difference. It kind of reminds me of Roberto Mancini with Manchester City, when he used to bring on De Jong as they're chasing a game. And Nigel De Jong was as defensive as they come. Remember him kicking the chest of Xabi Alonso in the World Cup final?
Yeah, World Cup final,
yeah. He's as defensive as they come, but then he just allows you that protection when you're on it, and also what's the word? Security when you're on it as well. So you're on the ball, you have security, technical security, and you also have protection off it just in case you do get countered. So I completely understood, especially when you consider how poor Dani Ceballos and Xhaka were in that second half. I didn't think they were too bad, by the way, in the first half. I thought they were quite decent. But yeah, in the second half, he definitely needed to change. And I was like you. I was actually watching it on an illegal stream. And so by the time it loaded again, by the time it loaded again, I'm seeing some left winger with big hair. I'm like, oh, no, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes. So, but I also agree with Albert. He didn't, I don't think he changed the game. He just didn't really do anything wrong. And sometimes that helps if everybody else does something right. So, yeah.
Yeah, any FBI agents are watching illegal streams and stuff. I do not know this guy. And he just came on right now. He was sent the link by someone else. So for me, the thing I'd say to by the De Jong, Zoom, I also remember De Jong for giving the pass right before Balotelli gave the pass to Aguero. Staggering. People don't remember that. So Albert, I'd say the thing about Willian and Pepe, for me, I always feel like they're on the same level. I'm sorry, like. For the Southampton game in the FA Cup game, when Pepe comes on, I still feel the same way as William coming on. I don't feel like confident, like, oh, this guy is going to make something happen. I don't. Maybe Martinelli does deserve some minutes. I don't know if you guys think it's because of the injury that he's been having. That's why he doesn't play, because definitely he's one of our top 6 players in the team, top 5 players in the team, because I don't understand that. But for Pepe, not really that much. I don't trust him that much either.
Yeah, I don't think it's the injury. I don't think it's the injury, and I'll tell you why I don't think it's that, because when we played Villa, I know we get bored of saying it. We're 1-0 down, right? We've got Lacazette on the pitch already, who's had not had a great game. Aubameyang's come on a sub and done nothing. 5-10 minutes to go. You're telling me you cannot put on Martinelli to give you 5-10 minutes? You'd rather put on Willian to go and chase a goal. That tells me everything I need to know about Martinelli. I don't get it. I find it very, very strange what's going on.
Yeah, and also Zoom, The Dennis Ceballos thing it also helps that he had made 2 mistakes, so it was easy to sub him. Go ahead.
No, I think he would have been the one to come off anyway. Like Albert said, I think he would have been the one to come off regardless of whether he controlled that or cleared his lines or whatever. On the Martinelli situation, I think if Arteta doesn't like him for whatever reason, for his own sake, he better be justified. That means he needs to back up the results, and the people that he chooses over Martinelli need to perform. Because sometimes when I rate a manager, I look at a player, and if this manager doesn't like this player, that's a bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
Because you want Gabriel Martinelli, you want Bukayo Saka, you want Emil Smith-Rowe all to play, Odegaard. I mean, figure it out, give them minutes, rotate. I don't care. But if you consistently choose Willian with a bit of experience or whatever, it has to be justified. I mean, if Willian had come on, right, and we actually crashed out of the Europa League and Martinelli hadn't come on, Albert Stone would be extremely different, and I think so would mine. Yeah. And I'm one of the fanboys of Arteta. I think he's a bit of a chosen one. So honestly, with Gabriel Martinelli, I understand why Albert's a little concerned, but I also agree with, to a certain extent, cautiously. I'm a little bit on the fence with the Martinelli situation and his injury. There's a lot obviously that goes on behind the scenes, and it's very easy for me to come out and say that. But considering we lost him so quickly after he came back from his injury, I think maybe I don't mind the caution, but at the same time, I also understand the need to have technically such gifted players in like Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka. And the good thing is, Albert, we have all these players that we can chop and change. But as long as, and I hear you, as long as we chop and change those good players, I don't want us to chop and change between Willian, Emil Smith-Rowe, Pepe, and Bukayo Saka and Odegaard. Now, Martinelli should be ahead of Willian and Pepe, in my opinion. So yeah, I really hope I get to see him more because
and sorry, just to add a bit further to the Martinelli thing, like let's be honest with Aubameyang, right? He's been terrible this season, and that's being put. People can use stronger words than that, but for example, say if Martinelli doesn't play on Sunday, which I think there's probably a good chance he won't even feature. That does not look good, man. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider
Laka hasn't played in the last 3 out of 4 games. Was he resting him for yesterday? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. He makes some strange,
and especially when you consider how much we need to rest players, but at the same time, how much we need to put on the best 11 that we possibly could, and that means Martinelli ahead of Willian and Pepe. Simple as. Yeah. Even with Lacazette, I mean, you don't see Edin Nketiah coming on ahead of Lacazette, and that's for a reason. Lacazette is just simply a better striker. So yeah. Also, I wanted to ask a question about Aubameyang, Glenn. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen Jamie Redknapp come out on Sky, and he asked, he was saying that Aubameyang will get you the odd goal here and there, maybe the odd hat trick here and there. But he's past his prime. I mean, am I the only one who saw him getting shrugged off? Like, oh man, he got shrugged off by John Stones.
I have a lot to say about Aubameyang.
And that's our captain. You know what I mean? I want to see a bit of grit, and I get it. Sometimes leaders don't lead by, shouting, strength and overall shouting and just being that commanding presence. You need to be more lead by example. But I mean, I just want to see a bit more fight. I remember seeing Phil Foden, right, shrug off is it Bertrand Traore from Aston Villa? Yeah, Bertrand Traore tries running into Phil Foden as he has the ball, and he just bounces off Phil Foden. Phil Foden's small. Look at, for example, let's bring it a bit closer to home. Look at Bukayo Saka, man. Bukayo Saka is like, mashallah, he's so strong, man. When he protects the ball, it's so difficult to try and take it from him. And that's because of his low center of gravity, but it's also, I think, in my opinion, that grit, that determination. No way I'm going to lose this ball. This ball is mine. Yeah. And I think we need to see more of that from Aubameyang. We see it from Lacazette. He backs up into anything he can. You know what I mean?
Glenn, can I ask you something? Yeah. You see with Aubameyang, right? Because I said this on, I think I said it on somebody else's live stream a few days ago. What my issues with him is when things are not going well. It's very happy. Arsenal very happy to chuck out the youngsters to face the press. So Aubameyang comes out after we play Southampton at home. When he scored, he comes out to the media. He didn't come out to the media against Manchester City, but when he scores the hat-trick, he comes out to the media. I don't like that. But to me, when it's good or bad, you come and front up in the press. You don't send the other players shouldn't be having to come out and do that. A Tierney or a Saka or when Willock was here. That's what I have an issue with.
That is fine, but when the starting lineup came out and I was checking people's streams and Twitter accounts to see what people are saying about the lineup, everyone was so negative. I was like, why is everyone so negative? Are you people negative because Aubameyang is starting the game? Is he that bad? Is people actually saying Arteta out? Why is he starting Aubameyang? It's been useless for like the whole season. And I'm like, you can never drop Aubameyang in the biggest game of the season. I don't care how many chances he missed in the last game. I am not putting Ketia or Lacazette ahead of Aubameyang in our most important game. I put out a poll in the community tab on Tuesday and asked him, would you start Aubameyang in this game? And I think like 60% said no, bench him. I was like, I could not believe it. And people are actually saying Arteta out because he's starting Aubameyang because he missed 3 or 4 chances last week. Yes, he did not come for the interviews, yes, but I always feel more confident when Aubameyang has a chance ahead of Nketiah or Lacazette. People are even saying bring in Balogun and bench Aubameyang. Really?
I think maybe there's also that language barrier. Willock, Kieran Tierney, Bukayo Saka, Eddie. I don't know if Eddie Nketiah has ever done an interview. He's been so poor, but I think it's easier to have these other players who are, English is their first language to come out and speak to it. But I certainly agree. I mean, in tough moments, that's where you want to see your captain come out, regardless of how your leadership style is. All I know is that if I was captain, I'd come out and protect my teammates. I'd protect my manager. You know what I mean? So I want to see more of that, and I think maybe that's something we're just gonna have to live with, Albert.
But you already know he's not a captain. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even want to become the captain. If I actually say, because we all know he's not the best captain at Arsenal. We all know he doesn't have those qualities. We know he was given the captaincy because he was the best performing player. He was leading on the pitch. But in terms of leadership and people saying bench him, because I just had Albert saying he's not been the best this season.
Yeah.
I still would play him either way because I think he's still better than most of our players anyway, and he'll get a chance and he'll deliver in the big games. So,
can I say quickly?
Go on, mate.
Yeah, Albert. You see, with that particular notion that you would start him regardless, I don't agree.
In the biggest game. In the biggest game.
Doesn't matter. Even in the biggest game, if we didn't have Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Martin Odegaard playing behind him, then no, don't play him. Because if you don't have the players that can put him through on goal for the player profile that he is, the striking profile that he has, then we wouldn't even play to his strengths. And I think for the first half of the season, rather, we didn't have these players, and that's why he struggled so hard. Because it's not like he was missing chances; he didn't even have chances. But now he did have chances. So as long as we have those technically gifted players who can give that slide rule pass, that's when you start him. But if he wasn't, then you start someone like Eddie Nketiah or
you still have to finish those chances though,
or Balogun. Yeah, but it would have been more useful. You see, if you don't have those players, if you don't have Martin Odegaard in them, it's more useful creating from the wings. And I think that's what essentially you saw in the first half of the season. Sorry, Albert, you can go ahead.
No, you make a good point, because before you could, because Arsenal fans, they used to do it on social media. If you watch it, we don't have nobody that creates chances, and the striker's not getting no service. But he's been getting service, and the only good thing is he's actually been getting into the areas to score goals. Because before, this guy wasn't even having a shot at goal. But Glenn, to your point about the sort of debate of Aubameyang starting or not, I think what it comes down to for me is, and I've said it before, if you're going to play the 4-2-3-1 formation, right? With Aubameyang and Lacazette, you play one or the other. You don't play both of them in the team. So one of them has to be the main striker. So when people see that he's not playing well, then they say, you know what, Lacazette is better in that position as the front man when you've got the 3 guys behind him. But that's where I think the debate might be with some of the Arsenal fans, to be honest.
Yeah, because when he missed those chances last week, he did miss them, but he was a threat. True or false? He was a threat. Like they couldn't live with him. He went through like 4 or 5 times, or he was offside like 6 times or something. So I still felt like he would get those chances again, and this time we'd take them. So I was definitely. Would you have started him, Albert? If you're the manager yesterday, would you have started him?
Did I have him in my predicted? I think I had Lacazette starting actually.
So would you have started him on Lacazette?
In my predicted lineup, I had Lacazette starting. Yeah,
I understand the need to maybe the desire to start Lacazette. I get it, but at the end of the day, regardless of his form and even how he contributes off the ball, or when we are on it, I think I would have started Aubameyang, because I don't think he's necessarily always a 1-in-1 chance striker. I don't think he's as clinical as an Aguero, for example, but he's certainly more clinical than Lacazette, and that's the problem with Lacazette, is that he'll hold the ball up well, he can give that kind of pass, and you can knock the ball off him with that wall pass. But sometimes when there's just no conviction in his finishing, and in such a big game, at least Aubameyang has that. He has that conviction. He knows what he wants to do. And I think, for example, if you put Lacazette through on goal yesterday with that Saka pass, there's every chance that goes out. There's every chance he doesn't even get it on target, or he doesn't even get the shot off because it's just bad control. So, I think I would have gone with Aubameyang. Yeah.
Same way I feel about Pepe getting that chance or creating that chance. But I agree that Albert, on the second goal for Aubameyang, I can't wait for him to prove you people wrong. I seriously can't wait for it. For Tierney,
who's your people?
Albert about not coming to the press conferences, or you saying about his strength and stuff like that.
That's not proving me wrong. As the captain, you should come out and face the media. That's a completely separate issue.
Yeah, but he will. He'll make you change your words. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, when he changes his my mind, it would be when he beats a defender 1v1 for pace. I need to see more of that. We haven't seen that in ages, and we certainly didn't see it against Man City. I just feel like he's becoming more and more that off-the-shoulder kind of striker, and that's fine. I don't mind it. I just need a bit more grit.
So Yonchu on Sunday, you won't have to wait for too long. So I agree with Albert when he said about the Tierney goal. Man, we needed that. We badly needed that. This was me trying. We were trying to hold back Tierney because he was trying to finish off Benfica. We were trying to pull him back. Stop it, Tierney, India. That was a very, very crucial goal, Albert, as you said, right on time. 2 minutes after their goal.
Yeah.
What did you make of the goal or the assist? People are saying Willian was just an easy pass, but he could have just whipped the ball in like everyone else was doing.
No, I agree. I don't think it was a pass that most people in that position would have made. I would have been very surprised if he hadn't given it to Tierney, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, it's a brilliant fish actually from Tierney. And yeah, that was the crucial point of the game. That facts. People can argue as much as they want on Twitter and Instagram or have arguments, but that was the turning point of the game.
Okay, and then Zoom.
I think just on that Willian thing, Glenn. It wasn't necessarily a great pass or anything. I mean, he's a footballer. He gets paid to do this. I'd imagine he should be able to make that kind of pass. But what we can credit is the right decision. Because I agree with Glenn in that he could have chosen to cross. He did it a number of times during that very game. So he could have chosen to cross. But
So if you look at that goal and you go to 20 seconds before that, he was involved in the play like 5 times. People won't tell you that. Yeah. The ball went to Xhaka, it went to Willian. I think he gave it to Tierney, and then he quickly moved forward for Tierney to pass to him, and then the composure to use his left foot. I was screaming after that goal, Albert. I was now people are saying that it's out after he was coming in, man. I was like, thank goodness he did something.
Well, now a question to you guys: what's a worse deal? What's a worse signature when you consider everything about those deals? Hakim Ziyech for 4 deal or Willian for free?
No.
So the thing I think about Willian, the thing I will say about Willian, let me tell you. The thing I say about Willian is he has never been a bad player. Willian had like 15 goals and 15 assists last season. Yes, we have this mentality of we don't want Chelsea players anymore because of Czech, Luiz, all those players, Gallas. But he's never been a bad player. If you'd offered me Willian on a free deal, like 1 year, 2 years, I would have taken him. Maybe the problem is the 200K. I don't agree with that. But signing him to come and help you out for 1 season, 2 seasons, I don't mind that. Arteta can't tell whether the player will come and become totally useless for the whole season. That's the same thing I always say about the likes of Balogun. He might leave Arsenal today and we'll never see him again, or he might leave Arsenal today and become a superstar to Bayern Munich like Gnabry. So you can't actually tell whether a player is going to become a good player or not. So, and I also don't agree with you people saying, because right now it seems like people are saying make sure Willian doesn't ever play for Arsenal again. He's still part of our team. We still have like 3 or 4 months to go. He still has to play somewhere, Albert.
Yeah, but I was going to say a point about the Ziyech comparison and Willian. The difference is Ziyech's coming from another league to the Premier League. Willian's been here for 6-7 years and he's completely fallen off the cliff. If you speak to a lot of Chelsea fans, they're very 50-50 of his time at Chelsea, you know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Some love him, some actually think he was useless.
But he has more assists. Come on, man.
I mean, you know, stats are not everything. And like I said, I'll put it down to the fact that you come into a new league. Willian's been there for 6-7 years. You can understand if he's struggling, but you've been playing in this country for a very, very long time. And yet you've fallen off the cliff in terms of your performance to a point where the Arsenal fans, a lot of them didn't want him in the first place. I was 50-50 with him. I was like, this is not, I don't think this is going to go down well, man. To get a player at that age on a 3-year contract. I mean, he was even fortunate Chelsea offered him 2 at the age that he's at. So yeah.
Let me just answer this from Fitly TV. Because people are always saying you're celebrating round of 32. Let me tell you the reasons I was celebrating. Because when Willian came on, when Aubameyang started in that game, on Partey didn't start and he was brought on, all that, people are screaming Arteta out and I'm his biggest supporter. So I was very happy that they were proved wrong at the end of the day. And the other day I was on an Arteta out, Arteta in debate. And the one thing I said is the one positive is that Arteta, these days, even when you go down to 10 men, 9 men, I actually still feel like we can get something out of the game. Because when we used to have Wenger and Emery, when you used to go down to 10 men, Bayern United, you used to concede 8 or 9 goals every single time. But with Arteta this season, even against Wolves, when you were down to 9 men, you could easily have gotten a point away from that game. So even when you're down to 9 men, 10 men, or when we're under pressure, the mentality is a bit right for me. So I was very happy that he actually came back in that final 30 minutes. So, because people had already given up. If you check Twitter after that goal, everyone had given up on that game. So I was very happy that he turned the game again.
I think at the same time, what Arteta brings that we haven't had in such a long time is that we don't show big opponents or any opponents that much respect anymore. We used to go into games and we'd play an Arsene Wenger side versus a Roberto Mancini Man City, and we'd be fearful. We'd play like we haven't played football before, and these guys have been doing it all their lives. And I think that's what this guy's brought. I mean, there was a great piece by Tim Stillman, who is a writer on Twitter. You guys should follow him. A great tactical column on that he did for Arsblog News. Or Arsblog, when he was comparing the different moments in the game between us and Man City. It was so interesting to see both minds working through their teams. Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, how they kind of jostled and pushed each other and readjusted and did all those tactical adjustments, and how the game kind of swayed into our favor and just swayed back into theirs and swayed back into our favor. Just that tactical nous that Arteta has is so reassuring to have, because I genuinely believe it's not a lack of tactics. It's a lack of manpower. When you give, I think I go back to what Ian Wright said. I think it was November. Yeah, I think it was after we beat Man United 1-0. He said, you give Arteta these United players and he goes on to win the league. Strongly believe in that. I still believe in that. Regardless of how poor we look right now, we're not even top half of the table. But I strongly believe it's about these players. So about the Arteta stuff, I really don't want to get into the Arteta out, Arteta in, because he's not going anywhere. That's cool.
We will talk. Yeah, we'll talk for hours. We'll talk for hours. We'll come to the City.
And you know where I stand. Yeah. Well, City. What do you
Thank you for bringing up the City game. We'll come back to that a bit later soon. So third goal, Albert. How happy were you? Composure of Saka to get that cross. Were you already screaming when the ball was in the air?
No, because it went. You know when the goal went in, it obviously went to a VAR check. But to be honest with you, I don't understand why it took so long to check that, because it was, to me,
it's Arsenal because it's
Arsenal. I wouldn't say it was clearly onside, but you could see it was onside, man. But again, Saka. Yeah. That's the thing with Bukayo Saka. Even if he's not on it or he's not bossing the game for, I don't know, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, he's always in the key moments during a match. He makes the right decision at the key moments. And that was a world-class assist for the second goal. It's a brilliant cross. So he couldn't miss. So, yeah, I'm going to touch on, because I saw a couple things in the chat. I mean, I don't know what Arsenal fans want, because you can pick holes and win, or would you be happy that we're out and be, upset for a couple of days? Like that I don't understand.
And be right. Yeah.
It makes no sense, Glenn. But what do you want us to go out at the same stage of the competition again?
Obviously not. Just adding to answer your point.
So I'm gonna just finish up on the last point. The thing with the Arteta thing, right? I'm not gonna spend too long on it. Is that this is the problem? People make up their minds early, and they're not ever gonna willing to change. We could go on a 15-game unbeaten run. People still want Arteta gone. People already set in their camps, and they're not gonna change their mind, Glenn, and thing. They're not gonna change it, and that's the issue.
That's what I don't like, though. When I see people saying even, I'll never change my mind on Arteta. So even if you win the Europa League and win the Champions League, you'll never change your mind on Arteta. You can't actually say eat your humble pie. Yeah, go ahead, Zoom.
Yeah, no, I think people want to be right more. Those people, I think how you define them is they want to be right more than they want the success of our club, which is so dumb. If you give me that humble pie, I'm gonna slap that thing on my face. If Arteta is not the right man, and we get a manager and we win the Premier League, fine. Give me that humble pie. Give me 3 servings, bro. Yeah. I just want to add, just because there's people that are really trying to milk the negatives out of this performance, and they go like, "Oh, we struggled versus the fourth best team in the Portuguese league."
There's a narrative,
I'm like, "Oh, come on, man! Could you just enjoy it?" Yeah, there's concerns. We have them too. But in the FA Cup run that we won only last season versus Sheffield United, we were poor. We won by a Dani Ceballos goal, and I think he scored 3 goals that season.
Guess who brought him in? It was Arteta who brought him in at the right time in that game as well.
Exactly. So it's just like, just because this performance was bad, it doesn't mean that the rest of you can't extrapolate it and go like, this is how we're good. This is our trajectory. 100%. This is how we're going. It could switch up. And the thing is, the farther we go, the bigger the games get. And a team that's not doing so well in the league finds it a lot easier to get ready for bigger games. I mean, look at us. I think overall, are you guys happy or unhappy with our performances? Not necessarily the results, performances versus the Big Six, for example. How are you guys?
Yeah.
You're happier, right? You're certainly a lot happier than you were under Unai Emery. So in my opinion, stop taking the piss. You're seriously just annoying, and let us enjoy it. If you guys want to be annoying, go be annoying by yourselves. Just at this point, honestly, to the point, Albert, where I just unfollow such people.
Just to answer Leon Match's question in the chat, for Emery, it had gotten to a point where we knew the players didn't want him as well. We had started hearing so much news, and for Arteta right now, yes, we were not scoring goals, but we had the best defensive record in the league. But for Emery, we were not scoring goals, and we were conceding 35 shots against Watford. We were conceding 30 shots against Brighton at home. So there was no positive in terms of play. We were not scoring goals. We were conceding a lot. At least right now, I can say Arteta is doing good here. He just needs to find the balance. So that is just me. Albert, what do you make of Emery being 1 point off the top 4?
I mean, he was what, a couple of games off actually having a good season. He would have got us top 4. and he would have won us our first European trophy since 1994. That's a long time ago. But I don't know. Emery's it's a funny one, because I get the point with Arteta, the guy that made a point in the comments, because you know what I mean. Premier League wise, we've lost more games than we've won, man. I've never seen that before in my lifetime as an Arsenal fan. So you can't just go. I understand it is difficult because people talk about process, which I don't use that word. I don't even. It's banished from my channel. I don't use process. But you think to yourself, if we came out of Europe and finished outside the top 6, would Arsenal fans still say that we should give Arteta the summer? I don't think they would say that.
The thing is, I still stick to my statement, Albert, or the way he told you 2 weeks ago. I still think we'll finish top 6. I remember he told me good luck with that, and I still stand with that. And I think it will start against Leicester on Sunday.
You know why
it will start against Sunday.
Glenn, why we won't finish? You know why we won't finish top 6? Because this is what happens on Twitter, for example, right? We win a couple of games, win on that little run. Oh, you know what? Other teams are dropping points. You know, we're only such and such points off top 4. But the difference is we're dropping points. So you can't close the gap when you're losing or not taking advantage of what the teams are doing above you. That's why we won't get top 4 or top 6.
The reason I say that is because I feel all these games we lost, we were missing our best players, Partey, Tierney, Gabriel, red cards in the games during crucial moments. You should have beaten Wolves comfortably. Cedric made a mistake against Aston Villa, all that. So when you have all our best players and you have Leicester, Burnley, Newcastle coming up, Sheffield, I think out of the 13 remaining games, I think we'll win 10 of those games, Albert. Mark my words, and you can clip it and see you at the end of the season. Yeah,
where is this confidence coming from?
Yeah, I don't know where
the confidence is coming because the players are now fit, and I know Arteta has the right mentality to get us there.
All right, Glenn. Glenn. Put it this way, right? Do you trust these group of players through the course of a season or whatever games are left to get top 6?
I trust about 7 of them. Yeah, who can do the job for me?
You've asked your own question. That's not enough, man. 7 out of the. You need more than that. You need more than that, bro.
For the games that we have,
why are you excited to finish top 6?
Because I'm not excited. Because people have been saying you're not going to even finish top 6. Get Arteta out. Because I really want him to finish top 6. Because people are always bringing that up. Let me show you. Where is it?
I don't
like think, such comments. 11th position. The season is not over yet. They won't be saying that in 1 month's time.
Wait. I'm sorry, but I strongly believe that if we're not finishing in a top 4 position, and if we're not winning the Europa League, I don't want to be anywhere near 7th to 5th. I don't want it. I don't want to play freaking Lithuania, in Lithuania or freaking Greece.
But that means you have 2 chances. Anymore. That means you have another 2 chances next season to qualify for the Champions League.
That means we have a much better chance finishing, because in my opinion, Europa League is not the metric of progress. The league is the metric of progress. If I know I'm not suggesting that this is the season where we start measuring our progress.
I know.
Yeah, because I still firmly believe we don't even have anywhere near the right amount of players that we need to strongly challenge for the top 4 and even compete to be a dark horse. So
you're okay with 11th?
It's okay. I'm okay. By the way, you can throw all the bans at me, but as long as Arteta's given the right players in the summer, I'm looking at that top 4 like a piece of cake. Seriously, I genuinely believe it's much better for us because we'll get more time to train. We'll have less chances of fatigue because we know the schedule isn't going to let up, especially when you consider the Euros coming up and whatnot. Like we just need some breathing room. Arteta needs some breathing room to rest the right amount of players at the right time. And in my opinion, we just need to be out of Europa League. That's what I'm saying.
That is what people are waiting for. They're waiting for him to miss out on Europa League and say, you see, we've dropped off even further. So I rather stay stagnant than drop off further. Go ahead, Albert.
Sorry, Albert. Just one more thing. Let them. So what, bro? Let them say what they'll say. It's not going to change anything. We already established it's not going to change anything. We were down 15. and there was nothing said, nothing coming out from the media to suggest that Stan Kroenke and them were looking at it and going like, okay, you know what, might change. Nah, they fully believe in him, and so do I. So let's just go unfinished between 10th. If we're not winning the Europa League, then that's where I stand.
Now, what I was going to say was that in football, whether it's where us as Arsenal fans or football lovers in general, you're allowed to change your mind. So the Arsenal board have a big decision to make. If this goes pear-shaped in terms of we don't win the Europa League and we finish outside the top 6, they're entitled to change their mind and say, actually, you know what? Arteta's position is a bit precarious, or it's a bit untenable. I think the only way definitely where they would move him on is if he's in the bottom 3. They'd be unquestionable, but they've got a big decision to make in the summer, because if it goes the way in the way we might think it's going to go, are they still prepared to tell us as fans that they're going to back him? So it's not our decision to make. It's for the board to make that decision. Are they ruthless enough to say, actually, you know what? We'll get someone more experienced in. So it'll be interesting to see, man. It'll be interesting to see to the end of the season.
Yeah, we should get someone more experienced to come and become Arteta's assistant manager, someone like Allegri. The last thing I'm going to ask you to tell you guys, ask you, Albert, the last thing on the game, Gabriel. How comes Gabriel has become so poor? He was terrible yesterday.
Terrible?
Yeah, he was.
What I will say is I don't think either centre-back was very good yesterday. But what I will say in regards to Gabriel is that people got to remember he was out the team for quite a while and due to COVID. And listen, even if you look at someone like Newcastle, for example, where they got COVID really, really badly in terms of, say, Maximum, Jamal Lascelles, it took them ages to come back to any type of fitness and get back in the team. So that can't be ignored. And the fact that Gabriel was player of the month for the first three out of the first 4 months of the season, that can't be ignored. You get to remember, he's still young on top of that. He's coming from a completely different league where they never even came back, the French league, to finish their season. He's come into a new league, like I said, playing in a different formation, because from what I understand, when we bought him, he played in a flat back 4. He's had to do that and play in a back 3. So I think he's been accepted. I think he's done well. I think, yes, he's going to have a dip. Who wouldn't in the Arsenal defense have a dip when they just come to the club? It's going to happen. So, yeah, I'd hold tight with Gabriel. I mean, I know people probably, yes, he's played well, but he's going to have games where he's been off it, man. Like, I wouldn't jump on him too much, man, personally.
I didn't mean terrible like that, Zoom, like Kolasinac terrible. But he's been very shaky, like since the Southampton game where he picked up the red card. Aston Villa, him and Holding were all over the place. Yesterday, he gave out so many fouls.
Come on, I think you're being harsh.
Luis was better than him. Luis has been better than him.
No, I mean, Luis was good in terms of recovery, maybe, but in terms of on the ball, I mean, David Luiz was as slow as they come, to be honest. But Gabriel, I mean, I think there's going to be a bit of dip in form here and there, like for all the reasons that Albert mentioned. But if there's a player that deserves to get played into form, it's him.
Yeah,
it's Gabriel. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, I think as well. Am I the only one who didn't like those pitches that we were playing on? I felt like the surface was dry and it just slowed things down. I remember thinking to myself, okay, after the first leg, Albert, I remember thinking to myself, you know what? We drew 1-1 away from home. Now let's take them to the Emirates where the pitch is going to be really nice and slick. And then I remembered, oh crap, there is no Emirates. And yesterday, more concerns were raised when we played on that pitch as well. I mean, I think a little bit of why we were a bit slow in terms of our passing and whatnot is because of the pitch. The pitch was a bit dry.
Thank you for bringing that up. Pitch. Athens, here we come again. Very, very good taking us to the next topic, Zoom. Someone would think we planned that. So on the pitch, we are going back to Athens again. So the UEFA Europa League draws made today. Albert, Olympiacos again. Athens again. Same stadium again. Are you happy with the draw? Or was there any other team you wanted?
I don't get caught up in whoever we get drawn against. If it's a tough team, it's a tough team. If it's a relatively unknown team, so be it. It's a knockout stage. But what I will say, it's quite funny how all the English clubs or British clubs avoided each other, which is quite funny. But yeah, it is ironic to get them. Of all the teams we could have got to get them, man, who put us out last season. So, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know how good Olympiacos are now this season, 12 months on, because I don't know. But I'd have to do my research. But I think we've done pretty well to get the tie we've got for the teams that were left in it. That's what I will say.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure you wanted a more easier team, let's say a Molde or a Tottenham, the easier teams. Can you hear us?
Is he gone?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Yeah.
It just broke off for a bit. Sorry.
Which team did you want?
I was just looking at. Sorry, I'll come back to your question. Oh, I wanted AC Milan actually, because I have a friend of mine on another platform. His name's Saddam, and he's super annoying. He just keeps trying to bang on about Arsenal being shit. So it's definitely AC Milan, but I don't mind Olympiacos. I think it's not going to be anywhere near as tough as it was last season, because we're more of a team now. But then again, I said the same thing of Benfica in the second leg. So the Arsenal way might come to fore. So it'll make it a bit harder for ourselves. But I'm not too worried about that. I think I would have been more worried if we faced like a team, more traditionally strong team like Shakhtar or Roma or maybe even Milan and Villarreal. Ajax. I think those are more wary teams. So Olympiacos, it just feels like suitable. You know what I mean? You don't want to face an Ajax now. You don't want to face Tottenham now. Let's get these Slavia Praha guys out of the way. These Dynamo Zagrebs and them. Let's get them out of the way.
Those teams, and then they eliminate us, unfortunately. So the full draw.
Glenn, wait. Sorry, are we? Is there an international break in March? Does it come?
I'm not sure.
When is the international break?
There is. I think we have Leicester, Burnley, then one game, then international break. I think it's Tottenham, then international break. So we have 3 Premier League games before international break.
Okay, cool.
It can't be, because the 11th of March, that's when we're playing our Europa League game.
It's in March though. There's an international break in March.
So we're definitely playing the round of 16 before the international break.
It could be. It could be. Or we could play the first leg, and I don't know if it's possible to play the first leg and then go over international break. I'm not sure, but I'm sure we have 3 Premier League games before the next international break.
Carry on. I'll just bring that up right now. I'll confirm that. I'll just check if there's any gap in between the games coming up. I think we play 28th of Feb. That's after tomorrow. We play Leicester, and then the 6th of March. Actually, it's not. It's in the third
3
week.
Premier League
like
games.
Yeah.
So Leicester,
so
Burnley, then Tottenham, then international break.
Yeah, I was actually really just excited to get that out of the way. I think I wanted to play the round of 16 before the international break, and then we come back
after yesterday. I feel like we already played the final. So the round of 16 drawing full, some really good games. As Albert said, all the teams avoided each other. So Ajax against Young Boys, Dynamo Kiev against Villarreal, another team I didn't want. If Emery beat Arteta, the meltdown would have been incredible. Roma against Shakhtar, Olympiacos against Arsenal, Dynamo Zagreb against Tottenham, then United against Milan, Slavia Prague. It's supposed to be Prague, but they've written it in the language against Rangers. And then at the bottom, it's Granada against Molde. So just quick predictions on them. Albert and Zoom, just your take. So start with the Albert. Ajax against Young Boys, which one do you expect to go through?
Oh, God. That's caught me off guard. I mean, I don't know too much about Young Boys. Obviously, Ajax, massive tradition in Holland, but I'd expect Ajax to go through. Score-wise, God, I don't have a clue.
Young Boys put out, they eliminated by Leverkusen, one of the favorites in the competition.
6-3.
I'll go Ajax 2-0, man.
So Ajax to win the tie in general.
No, how about can we not do score lines?
Right, no scoreline. I just want the team that's going through. I just want the team that is going through.
Okay.
Ajax, Young Boys, though.
He said Ajax. I think
Ajax.
I'm gonna agree with Ajax as well.
Okay, then Albert, Roma and Shakhtar, both Champions League quality teams. Even though Roma hasn't been there for a while.
I'm just gonna go for Roma over 2 legs.
Roma's home.
Yeah, Roma as well. I'm just going to be traditional about it, not even hiding it.
Yeah, again, Albert, Dynamo Kiev against Villarreal, Ukraine against Spain.
No, I think Villarreal.
Villarreal. So
yeah.
I want Villarreal so that we get Villarreal, and then Arteta knocks Unai Emery, and we get some poetic justice for all our Arteta fanboys. We're like, yes.
Yeah. Yes. So Villarreal, okay, then obviously Olympiacos Arsenal. I'm not sure about your prediction, Albert. I have to ask you, Olympiacos Arsenal.
You're not sure? You got to laugh at it.
After yesterday, I'm not sure about people's predictions anymore.
No, I think I'm just saying in terms of the teams that are left, I think we've got a very good draw. So yeah, I'll say Arsenal over two. Yeah, Arsenal over 2 legs, man. Absolutely.
Zoom, you agree?
Lessons learned, bro. I can't say anything other than Arsenal. I think the only time I've predicted a loss this season was the recent game between us and City, and that's just because of fatigue. So Arsenal all the way, bro. Let's go.
And then Zoom start with the next one: Dinamo Zagreb against Tottenham.
Dinamo Zagreb, 100%. No doubt.
Albert.
I know Mourinho loves his cup competitions, man. He's very quick to remind people that he's won this competition. But let's just go Zagreb, man. Let's go Zagreb, man.
Yeah, Zagreb. This guys always get some mediocre teams. Marine, Wycombe in the FA Cup, Dinamo Zagreb in this competition. Wolfsburg, the big ones who Man United against AC Milan, Ibrahimovic against his former team. I think Damian or something, or Dallo as well. One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all hate Man United, so I'm going to go with Milan. But it's also, it's got a double effect in that it knocks out United, and that's great. But then we get to knock out AC Milan at some point, and then I get to make fun of my AC Milan fans. So, yeah.
Albert, I think this way, if United go out here and we go through against Olympiacos, my confidence will be a bit up again. Albert, United, AC Milan.
You know what? I'm going to go for Milan to nick that over 2 legs, you know. I've got a feeling I do. I can see it happening.
That would be good. So, a team that we played in the group stage, Molde, playing against Granada, first time in any European competition for Granada.
I don't know. I just feel like Granada is going to have a bit much because these Spanish teams have a bit more technical quality than the other European teams. So I'm going to go with the La Liga team over here. Granada is a La Liga team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Albert?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. I think that could go either way that time, to be honest. I'm gonna go Molde. I'm gonna go Molde to sneak it,
Well, then we meet them again in the next stage. That would be brilliant. And then the last one's Slavia Prague, eliminating Leicester without conceding a goal in either of the 2 games. And Rangers, who have been magnificent this season. These guys, they scored 9 goals in the 2 games against Royal Antwerp. And Jared has been awesome in the league this season.
And Antwerp beat Tottenham. Guys might forget that. Yes, just a quick reminder. But
not that it's a hard task anyway.
Yeah, it's not. Dynamo Zagreb will show us. But Steven Gerrard, Hansi Flick, Pep Guardiola, and obviously man like Mikel Arteta are the only unbeaten managers in Europe right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so Rangers.
How about you agree?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Rangers. To get it done.
Awesome, man. So those are your predictions. I can see Ajax, I can see Tottenham, I can see Dinamo Zagreb. So last topic for the last 10 minutes. I'll start with you, Albert. Dangote, he's been linked to Arsenal again. There's been rumors that if he takes over Arsenal, he's going to sack Arteta, which I'm not happy about. So are you keen on him becoming the Arsenal owner?
You see these links, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm of Nigerian origin, man, and for the people that I talk to about football, I would personally, I say to any Arsenal fan, UK based or worldwide, take it with a pinch of salt. You can say anything what you want, like I'll come and take over in 2021. What does that mean? Like Kroenke, listen, he had the chance to sell. Usmanov put in the offer, I think, to Wenger's second to last season before he went. The man still turned down the offer that Usmanov put in, which was a lot of money, and he still turned it down. Yes, I know Dangote's got, was he estimated, 24 billion, apparently?
No, 10.
Was it more? It's probably more now.
It's 2 billion more than Stan Kroenke, which is 8.3. He's about 10.8, I think.
Yeah. They're saying that, estimate, because I think, I don't know where, because it's probably gone up further. I mean, to that mark rather than from 24 billion upwards. I mean, but yeah, he's worth a lot of money. But I think what Arsenal fans have got to understand is, even if devil's advocate, Kroenke was to go, yes, Dangote, been an Arsenal fan since the 80s apparently, and whatever. Maybe he's got a bit more of an interest in the club, because obviously with Kroenke, these guys are not grown up watching English football. They're not football fans. So if it's your money, as a businessman, I'm not no businessman, but I would look at it and think, if it's your money, why would you pump a lot of money into the club? Them days of Abramovich and the Sheikh Mansour, them days are gone, man. Like, Abramovich is not going to keep forking out money after money after money to spend on players at Chelsea. So Arsenal fans have got to ask themselves the question: even if he was to take over, right? Whether is he going to have the best interest of the club? And we're not going to know that until it happens. And Kroenke has only been in full charge of the club really for just over a year. And what change have you really seen? This guy, if you listen, for people that, you don't have to be financial experts, you go and look at Swiss Ramble on Twitter over the last 5 years or so. You can find out them sort of finances for yourself from what Kroenke's actually done to back this club. And like I said, when it's your money, do you really want to invest it into a football club? That's why, listen, so with the Dangote link, so what I'd say before Zoom comes in, like, Arsenal fans, just take it with a pinch of salt, man. Like I said, my famous 7 words, I see it when I believe it. And that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So what about you?
Well, in terms of, I think you mentioned a very, very good point that just kind of switched my mentality. I think up until, switched my opinion on the issue. But you talked about when Kroenke took full control over Arsenal, and it's been a little over a year, I think, maybe a year and a half. Yeah. But we are starting to see some changes, but are they enough? If Dangote is at your door right now, telling you, I'm going to sign all these players, I'm going to bring Arsenal back to where it's meant to be, money's not going to be an issue. But then at the same time, just last summer, we sacked our head of football because he was playing some fishy. He had some fishy deals. Like, I'm sure he's living nice and large right now after that Pepe deal, for example. And then they bring on some lawyer. They make the club more efficient. It just kind of feels like they've just suddenly woken up and they really just want to get their hands dirty in terms of running our football club the right way. But are they going to spend over the odds? For example, if Paulo Dybala is available now in the summer for 70 million, 60 million, even 50, right? Dangote looks at that and goes like, yeah, just bring him on. Stan Kroenke and them go like, Arteta, are you sure you really want this guy? You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to see Arteta go because I genuinely believe we have a very, very talented manager. And I don't know what Dangote's opinions are on our manager, especially as a fan. But in terms of the links to him, I know he's not someone who's just come into wealth. Apparently, and I was just doing a bit of research, he is the great grandson of some gentleman called Al-Haji Al-Hassan Dantata, the richest West African at the time of his death in 1955. So he was born into wealth. All he's known is wealth. And from a Muslim point of view, I'm Muslim. From a Muslim point of view, I'd like a fairer stance on certain political issues from the club, humanitarian issues, because I feel like the club lost a lot of class when they didn't back Mesut Ozil over the Uyghur Muslims comments, but they were so quick to jump on the Black Lives Matter campaign, And to this day, you see the Black Lives Matter campaign on the back of the people's shirt. You saw the Chinese Happy New Year handwriting translations and it's just so. I just feel like we're really losing our class as a club, because we're about what are the three words? Victoria, Concordia, and what else? There's one more. Yeah, so those three words are our values, and it's what I thank Arsene Wenger for in terms of building our club based on those values that he found. He didn't create those values. Yeah. Those were Arsenal values long before he came. And we have that class. By the way, Albert, I only started supporting Arsenal 2006 after the Champions League semi-final, because we fought well, we fought hard, and we probably should have won that game with one man down. And I just thought, I saw that and I associated with that club, and I just felt it. It really resonated with me. So for us to have moved the way we did as a club, at least in terms of the board, really disappointing. And I just feel like, these guys, these Americans, bro, they're all about America, and they have no class. They have no class. Yeah. Hopefully he brings that class.
The thing is, listen. I'm not saying you can't be an American and love English football. Of course you can, but they don't. That's not their sport. They love the Rams. Like, the thing with the problem with the Dangote links for me, Glenn and Zoo, is the fact that he originally tried to get buy shares in the club in 2010, and every 2 or 3 years the same story crops up. He's interested in Arsenal. We know, Arsenal fans know that he's interested, but Kroenke's not gonna just sell like that. He's been at Arsenal a very, very, very long time. Like I said, this is a businessman. He's not a sport. He's not an Arsenal fan. It's his money. He can do what he wants. So when Arsenal fans say money, go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I think another thing that really just doesn't sit right with my heart is, he moved the St. Louis Rams to somewhere else. I can't remember, the LA Rams. Yeah. I think he made them the LA Rams, and I know that's just part and parcel of American sports franchises and the way their setup is. But if he could do that to Arsenal, he would.
Yeah, 100%.
He would. If it makes more sense to do that to Arsenal, he would. 100%. But at the same time, what you're saying is right, man. These guys don't understand not only just football, they don't understand the culture of football. I just feel like with Dangote, you're going to see him at the games. And you're going to see him celebrate goals. You're not just going to see some guy called Silent Stan, because that's how he is. I don't care about how you are.
Exactly that point in the comment there. He's a fan. I just want a fan, someone who cares.
Yeah.
Someone who wants us to
look
win.
At Leicester. Look at Leicester. When they lost their owner, there was sadness all around. The whole city felt sad. Yeah. And I just feel like Dangote could have that kind of positive influence, because I'm willing to just take a risk, to be honest. That's me, because I've seen what we have, and how much worse could it get, honestly?
But you know what it is? I think this is the problem. Because we want, as Arsenal fans, because we want Stan Kroenke gone ASAP, we're going to cling on to any type of Dangote links, or whether somebody comes in the press tomorrow that they want to buy Arsenal, they've been an Arsenal fan for 30, 40 years, we're going to rub our hands and think. It's not that simple, man. Like, these guys are businessmen. They're not stupid, man. Like, it's gonna be a lot of pain, like, off the pitch, man. Because listen, the day Kroenke goes, I think I'll probably be in a retirement home the way things are going, and I'm still young. Ish.
Oh, come on now, but you're not that old. Come on, man. Thank you very much.
I'm not Glenn, but it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be difficult, man. It's not as simple as it looks, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Leon Matic. Thanks very much. So well, that was a very good show. So that was one of my favorite shows. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we should have this guy on more.
Albert, how about you there?
Nice to meet you, man.
Albert's JTV. Go and check out his channel. He does some incredible shows. He did a transfer deadline show. On deadline, then he had 30 people there, different fans, Aston Villa, Newcastle. But just doing big. And for Leon, that money might give to Arsenal for buying players at the end of the season. That's what I would try and do. So thank you, Zoom, again. Where can they follow you, Zoom?
Just the usual, guys. Zuhum Omar on IG and on Twitter, and obviously the Nearly Footballers podcast, which is now on Spotify. Yes, Albert, we finally got Spotify in Kenya.
Nice one.
Yeah. So we're on Spotify. We're on all these different platforms, and we'd appreciate the follow. We'd appreciate the engagement, and see you guys next week, man. And really nice meeting you, Albert.
Pleasure. Yeah, same here, man. Good to meet you, man. Definitely.
There's their Twitter scrolling down the bottom for Albert and for Zuhum right about now. So Albert, where else can they follow you?
Yeah, just Albert JTV. Very easy to find. My Twitter handle's there at AUMO57. Don't even think about coming to subscribe. Just come and do it.
Don't think about it. Just do it. So thank you for all the comments from everyone, and to give a shout out to them. So shout out to Zoom and Albert for coming on. That was very fun. Leon, Ekene, Lewis, David, a lot of Ateta debate, a lot of Kroenke debate. Alex, obviously. I don't disagree with anyone who's Ateta out. I don't agree, but I don't disagree with anyone their own opinion. True Guna, Santo, Arsenal Fan Reviews, Elijah, and everyone else who came on, Fitly, and Military Guna. Thank you very much. And that was very fun, guys. Thank you very much, Zoom. Thank you very much, Albert. See you, Zoom, next week. Albert will try and do that again very soon as Zoom has pointed out. So as of now, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe. Now, make sure you drop a like on the video. I always forget to say that. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys.
Smash the likes, man. Smash the likes, people. Come on, man.
And I'll catch up with you guys later.
Guys, the likes are